Yeah, check here remote connections here, configuring remote connections. Already we have seen SQL Server is running in one machine. SQL Server is running in one machine, whereas mm, yeah, SQL Server is running in one machine, whereas application is running in different machine. That's why we have to allow here remote connect. We have to allow means connections are made remotely actually. It is called as what? Remote connection. Okay, right. So now check it to allow remote connections after installing SQL Server. As a DBA, we need to verify some settings here. What are the settings are there? One is here SQL Server browser service must be running. Okay, SQL Server browser service must be running. So this browser service allows remote connections, either browser service or Windows firewall. Either browser service or Windows firewall should be on. Today's here for more security, we are going with Windows firewalls here. For more security, we are going with Windows firewall. Then the next one here, check that SQL native client must be installed in the application server. Actually, we have seen local connections. For local connections, it uses what? Shared memory. SQL Server has one protocol called shared memory. For remote connections, it is using what? TCP/IP. TCP/IP. Okay. Right, right. So now check here yeah, we'll verify one time. Already have connected to one of my instance here. Test SRV1. See here? Okay, I will go to SQL Server Configuration Manager. SQL Server Manager 15.msc. See here? Okay, SQL Server Manager 15.msc. Okay, which is called here SQL Server Configuration Manager. Here see in the services, SQL Server services, we can check here see browser is running or not here. SQL Server browser service is running. Okay. Yes, SQL Server browser service is running here in the services. Okay. Okay. Then next one's here second one's here browser service is running. Next one's here second one, instance TCP/IP must be enabled. We have seen. Check it. If I go to SQL Server network configuration, here's protocols for test SRV1. Right. This is our instance name. Test SRV1. Here see three protocols are there here. Shared memory, TCP/IP named pipes. Actually, remember by default this TCP/IP is enabled. I think I have disabled it. Just here we can right click enable. Yeah, we can right click enables here. Understood it? Yeah, check here after enabling or disabling, we have to restart the instance one time. Okay. Memory pipes we'll see later. TCP shared memory is for local connection. TCP/IP is for remote connection. So check it after restarting. After enabling or disabling TCP/IP, we have to restart this in service one time. Here's SQL Server test SRV1. Okay. Yes. Okay, it's taking time. Okay, yeah. So once it is restarted successfully, yeah, then users can work. That is common. That's the first point we have seen in the SQL Server Configuration Manager itself. What we have seen under SQL Server Services, first one we have seen like yeah, browser service is running, and second one we have seen that if I go to see network configuration, test SRv1 protocols for test SRv1 TCP/IP is enabled. For example, uh, mm, yeah, test SRv1 like next year like both here shared memory is enabled by default. TCP/IP is also enabled by default. That's why now remote connections are accepted. Okay, right. Right. But sometimes, remember, in some cases, for more security purpose, some clients say that Windows Firewall should be on. Windows Firewall should be on here in some scenarios. In that case, remember, yeah, in general, if I go to run firewall.cpl, see here, check here. Currently in my machine, Windows Firewall is off. Into mark is it means disable. We have to understand. Yeah. So that's like Windows Firewall is currently what on, right? Windows Firewall is currently off in my machine. That's why browser must be running here. Anyone browser service must be currently browser service must be running. Okay, why? Because firewall is off. That's why remember browser must be running. Whereas remember, like if browser is not running, just now we have seen SQL Server browser service is not running. Then remember, if SQL Server browser service is not running, okay, then remember Windows Firewall should be uh, on here compulsory. That's why anyone will take what remote connections. Understood, right? Anyone, either browser service will take remote connection or Windows Firewall. Okay, in most of the cases, like uh, yeah, in most of the cases, remember, browser is off in most of the production server. Windows Firewall is on. Okay, right. Check here. Suppose if I go to advanced, yeah, here's it. Turn Windows firewall on off. For example, let's say I will make it on. Now remember, whenever the user is trying to connect remotely, browser will take the request. It will verify whether the connection should be allowed or not. Okay. Yes. If Windows Firewall is off, browser will take the connection. Means browser will take the user request. Yeah, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Now check here. Now Windows Firewall is on here. Now, okay. Then next steps here. If the firewall is on, then sir, we have to add the application or port number into firewall. Here, what we'll do, we'll go to SQL Server Configuration Manager again. Protocols for test SRv1. Double click. Already we have seen TCP/IP properties. Here, see Here what we can do, we can assign some port number to the instance or SQL instance. We can assign some port number, and this port number we can add in the firewall. Actually, we can submit this port number to our Windows team. They will add it into firewall. But if you are working as a single DBA, you need to add same person like this here. Anyone we have to understand. Okay. Yes. We can go to properties. Here IP address. Yeah. Check here. We are getting here IP address. At the last, if I go to downs here, uh, TCP port. Generally, say like we have dynamic port is there. This is automatically assigned by Windows. Oh yes. Just remember, port number is what? Just to provide uniqueness. Let's say in a machine, see every machine has one unique IP, right? Yes. Same thing. Every application which is running in the machine inside the machine has a unique port number. Okay. Yes. Same thing. Check here like for SQL servers here, dynamically, automatically Windows will allocate port number. We can also allocate here manually. Let's say I'm saying generally remember 1433 is the default port number for SQL Server. 1433 is the default port number for SQL Server. We can assign again remember this is the default port number for default instance. For named instance here we have to provide some different port number. Any available port number we can use here. Okay. Okay, it is saying that same thing. Restart the instance here. SQL Server Services. SQL Server Test SRV1 restarts here. Okay, stick it. Okay. Yeah, port number is for what purpose? To provide the uniqueness. No, we have to add 1499. Just now we have assigned, right? 1499. The same we have to add in the firewall. Okay, don't use 1433. 1433 is already used by our default instance. Okay, other than 1433, 3435 are already used actually. We can use some other port numbers. Okay, yeah, port number is same for all servers. No, port number is different. Every server should have separate port number. Okay, port numbers cannot be duplicated. Okay, in one machine, let's say 10 softwares are running, like Oracle, SQL Server, something. Say every software has its own port number. Every server has its own port number. Okay, separate. We can't duplicate the port numbers. That's why same like 10 machines are there in the network. all the machines don't have same IP, right? Same thing, in one machine, let's say 10 softwares are running. Every software should have separate port number, different port number. Okay. Yes. Now remember, once again, very fastly here, I will go to SQL Server Manager 15.msc. Check here. Okay. Okay. How we are assigning port numbers here. SQL Server Network Configuration, protocols for our instance, TCP/IP, right click, properties, IP address. Okay. Okay. Down here we have TCP. Dynamic port is there, TCP port is there. Just we have assigned this one. This is auto assigned automatically by OS. 1499 we have assigned. Okay. After assigning the port number, next step we have seen, go to services. Right click on the server, service, restart. Okay. Now this port number here 1499. Yeah, any available port number we can use. Murthy, any available port number. Suppose if already it is used, if I assign again, it our server will not start. If duplicate port is there, our instance will not start. Okay? Yes. Now remember this port number which we have assigned to our instance. This port number we have to submit to our Windows team. Once after assigning the port number, once restarted the server, this port number we have to send to Windows team. Okay? Yes, yes. That Windows team, what they will do? The Windows team will add this port number into firewall. Windows team will add this port number, for example, 1499 we have used, right? This port number they will add into Windows firewall. Okay, right. Check here. Here, see, it is not our job, our Windows team job, but here, just to show you, I will add the same 1499 port number into firewall. Check here. Go to firewall.cpl. It is not our job. Don't confuse again. Firewall.cpl. Okay. Go to advanced settings, inbound rule. Check here, new rule, port. Yeah, which port number it is asking? 1499. Okay. Just we can go with the same default settings. Here for identification purpose, provide the server name test SRV1. See, just for identification purpose. Here, right? Yes, that is like how we have assigned the port number into firewall. Now remember, once the port number is assigned into firewall, then firewall will allow connection to our instance. Otherwise, generally firewall will block the connection. Check here once again, this is our server where our SQL engine is there. SQL engine is there. Whenever someone is connecting from outside, we have seen firewall will take the connection. See, firewall will take the request actually whenever someone is trying to connect outside. So while connecting, remember in the connection, what we'll do, we'll mention this, yeah, port number also. While connecting to the server, we'll mention the port number. Already here in Windows Firewall, we have added the port number actually, right? 1499, which is pointing to this instance, right? Test SRV1 instance, which is pointing to this instance, test SRV1. Now remember, in the application front end part, they will connect like this. For example, my machine is system name test SRV1, comma 149. See here, while connecting along with the server name, they are mentioning the port number. Whenever the request is submitted, okay, this port is there in the firewall or not, it will check. Okay, it is there. And this port is assigned to which application? Test SRV1. Okay, connection is allowed successfully. Okay, suppose let's say we have not mentioned this port number in firewall. Firewall will check, okay, 1433 is there or not there. Immediately it throws error. Firewall will not allow connection. Yeah, any port which is available, we can use actually. Random port, yes. Take care. After Microsoft is recommending actually from 1436 to 1954, but any available port, okay, within this range, or even in this range, if you are not compulsory, any other range also we can allocate. No need. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Yeah, understood, right? How the connectivity is allowing. Mhm. From the application, what is the purpose of port number and what is the purpose of firewall here. Right, right. So yeah, that is like how we are like how we are connecting here, like how we are allocating port number and we are adding into firewall. Now sir, once the port is added successfully, now whenever we are, generally we can connect here, users can connect like this. They will mention here everything is same. At the last they will say comma port numbers here. At the last while connecting here, connected successfully. Okay. Yes. That is like how we are allocating, how we are assigning the port number to our SQL instance. Okay. Yes. So yeah. Now check here like yeah. So let's see how the remote connections are accepted. If Windows Firewall is off, then remember no need to assign port number, no need to add port number into firewall if Windows Firewall is off. If Windows Firewall is on, then remember compulsory we have to assign the port number to the instance. The same port number should be added in the firewall, just what we have seen. Yeah, comma. Okay, instance name, comma, port number. Okay, yes. See here, yes, instance name, comma, port number. Just okay, yes, yeah. So that is like how we are allowing the remote connections, how we are working. Okay, yes. Uh, yeah, that is like how the remote connections were working. What are the steps are there to configure remote connections? Once again, here, here see this is my server one. Here I have installed SQL Server with the name test. See here, but someone is connecting from this machine, from another machine. Let's say our employee is trying to connect. He has open SSMS. He is typing their server name, login name, password. Once he click on connect button, once he click on connect button, immediately request is submitted to SQL native client. SQL native client, one software is there, which is by default installed. Now this SQL native client, what it will do, it will search for this server one in the network. Actually, remember we can mention the server name or IP address also we can mention here. Is searching in the network. Okay, server one found. Then remember same details this native client will submit to the native client which is running in the server. The same thing whenever we install SQL Server, this is automatically installed. Native client. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now what is happening? This native client will submit the request to browser service if browser service is running. Already we have seen, right? If browser service is not running, if browser service is not running, firewall will take the request. Anyone we have seen. Either browser or firewall will take the request. Okay, okay. Now check here. Then this browser, what it will do, or firewall will submit this login name password to the SQL Server service, which is our main service, to which instance, test instance. Then SQL Server service will verify whether the credentials are correct or not here. If the credentials are correct, then login success. If the credentials are correct, login success. That is like how the connectivity is working here in the background. Suppose here so suppose here if the connection is not there here, internet connection is not there or connectivity is not there, it throws this error number 26. Error number 26. Immediately we have to understand if it is error number 26, it is what? Error number 26. Okay, so then what is happening? Means we have to understand that some connectivity error is there. We have to ask network team to check the connectivity one time. Okay, so sometimes here we'll get error number 28. Error number 28 is there if TCP IP is disabled, we'll get here error number 28. If the instance TCP IP is disabled, we'll get error number 28. We have to see, we have to enable it. TCP IP. Right. The same way, like if you get error number 40 or 10060 or 61, it's meaning that the SQL Server service may be not running. Immediately we have to go to configuration manager or services.msc. We have to see SQL Server, the service is running or not. We have to start the service. Sometimes here we are getting error number 18456. If the credentials are invalid, suppose login name password are incorrect, then we are getting 18456. These are just some common connectivity errors are there. Common connectivity errors are there here. Okay, right. Common connectivity errors. Right. So that's why remember interview question will be what are the common connectivity errors you have faced. We can discuss these errors here, common connectivity errors. Yeah, generally here as a DBA will create the login password, will submit to the our employees or to our application team. Then application team will use that login details to connect from the application and then part. Right, right. As a DBA, we are creating login details, then we'll submit to our team. Right, right. Okay. That is like how we are connecting. Connectivity is happening. Yes. It is clear, right? Just we have seen like what is remote connection, what is local connection, how we are enabling remote connections. We have discussed here in this session. What are the common errors are there while connecting? Uh, yeah, in the log we can see the current log, but if the services are running or not, no need to see in the log. Directly we can see in services.msc. Why? Because in the logs also we can see, but we have to go to here SQL Server respect to any one instance. For example, MS SQL log. Yeah, here see. But we have to search actually whether the instance is started or not. It's lengthy process. Don't use this method. So better to go with what services.msc or just now we have seen in SQL Server Configuration Manager also. We can see the services. We can check here which service is running, which service is not running. It is easy here. Here itself we have seen browser is running or not. If it is not running, you can start here. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.